All right. Today I want to talk a little bit about religion and spirituality and the role that it plays in stress management for so many people, and human services and how it relates to religion and spirituality. During difficult times and even during great times, faith is something that adds meaning, purpose, and hope to people's lives. And different people have faith in different things. Different people practice different faiths, but we as social workers, we as people who work in the human services field are going to have to learn to help people find their own spiritual and religious truth without imposing our own upon them, and that can sometimes be tricky. I don't want to get into a long lecture about that today. I just want to tell you that I'm using this opportunity to share with you a little bit about my own spirituality and how that's played into where I am today. And also I want to share with you the healing power of hypnosis. As you know, I am a hypnotherapist, and my hypnotherapy practice is influenced by my spiritual practice. The two go hand in hand. So maybe you can consider this a little bit of informed consent that my hypnosis is going to have a spiritual slant to it. And here's where that comes from. That's my cat playing with the cord, by the way. Let's hope we can get him to forget about that. No, we can't. Okay. We're all in this together, right? This is almost live, but it is recorded at the same time. A huge influence in my life is the teachings of Ernest Holmes. And this has been taught in various places over a period of years. It's been called different things. But basically, it's surrounds around something called the science of mind, which of course is part of what attracted me to it. This is my Science of Mind textbook, which I don't know how good you can see it, but it's well used. I have definitely opened this book and closed this book many times, and I have many times meditated on what is in this book, and I have many times experienced healing in my life by following what I learned in that book. This book is a little bit technical, hard to read. This one's a lot easier. It's also by Ernest Holmes. It's a book called This Thing Called You. Again, this used to have a paper cover on it. I have opened and closed this book so many times. I have read it, I have underlined it, I have highlighted it, and I have internalized it. So there's no way that I can prevent the fact that it's going to spill out into my work. I opened up this book yesterday, just to the place where I had the bookmark, the Don't Quit bookmark, which is also very old and has been touched many times. Luckily, I'm safe where I am right now. Anyway, here's my 90-cent bookmark. Who knows how long I've had this? But let's just say I have studied spirituality extensively. And right now, spirituality is more powerful to me than academia. So let me read a little quote from this book. It's actually a quote of a quote, but I just thought, I'll give this to you to ponder on. Someday when you sit down by the roadside, weary with struggle, you will listen deeply and you will hear a voice saying, "This is the path. Follow it." Even then I shall wait, for you are you, and you cannot return to your Father's house other than as a complete and perfect individualization of myself, with a capital M. Always I shall be waiting. I shall not reproach you when you return. You will be welcome. The time of your return is in your own decision. It may be now or at any time in the vast forever which stretches before you. I just love that concept of choice. I love that concept of love, of surrender, and that's something that's all through this text. However, there's also this component of it, because like I said, it is called the science of mind, and it's called spiritual mind treatment, and that kind of ties into a little something else about human services. Some of you are going to go the traditional route, and some of you are going to go an untraditional route, and spiritual counseling is a viable option for some people. And one of the places that people become a spiritual counselor, or what they call a practitioner, is through studying the science of mind. When you study the science of mind and you become a science of mind practitioner, which I'm not, I studied extensively, but I am not currently a science of mind practitioner. But what you learn how to do is something called spiritual mind treatment. And the idea is that there are 5 steps to the treatment. They're scientific steps based on the science of mind. And these healings or sessions can be conducted face-to-face or remotely, which is very powerful. So it's prayer, but also spiritual mind treatment. And the idea that you can pray for somebody who's across the country or around the world, and the prayer still works. The idea of this book is they're saying the reason why the prayer works is because of the science of the prayer. And the science of the prayer is modeled very closely through the Lord's Prayer. Is that what it's called? I just drew a blank. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. And different people say it slightly different ways, but it's a powerful prayer. It's used in many cultures, and that's what this is tied into. So this piece right here is a little bit more like educational and having you think about your own journey and your own spirituality. Thinking about how can you talk to people about their spirituality without being offended. How can you talk about your own spirituality without trying to impose it upon other people? I am going to be doing some sessions in other recordings, and in those sessions I just want you to know that I will be influenced by things like the science of mind. Also, A Course in Miracles is a big influence to me, and some works of Neville Goddard are also very influential to me. Of course, my hypnosis practice and my chakra knowledge that I have that's expanding as we speak. And I tend to do hypnosis that's more along the lines of universal themes of health and wellness and love and prosperity, but also take specific requests from people when I'm working with them one-on-one. I believe in this idea of this thing called you, and the you shows up different ways for different people, but there's a thing called you. And basically in my hypnosis, what I'd like to do is help you to access that thing called you, and whatever your journey is and whatever path you take. I do have the singing bowls here. I've used these in class, and I will sometimes use them in my hypnosis. I would like to get feedback from those of you who are watching this video to let me know what the sound is like with those bells. And of course, I'll be hearing my own video and seeing what it sounds like. The chakras are tied in with musical notes. Each chakra is tied in with a musical note. And I don't have that list in front of me right now. But if I do a chakra healing, then chances are I will also use the bowl that goes along with the chakra I'm working on. right now I don't have a root chakra bowl. I don't have a C note bowl, which is the root chakra, but I do have this kalimba, which has the C's. I can hear what a C is. And I can just play a little. I can just play a little song to get the meditation started. I'm not a professional musician. But these sounds, and that's another topic for another day, but there's a such thing as sound therapy. The vibration of sound. The healing of a tone. Over there on the counter, and I'm not going to get up and get it, is a music box type thing. You know, the kind that you turn and then you let it go and it plays a song, like a chime box. I don't know about you, but I had more than one of those throughout my lifetime. I remember the jewelry box, and you open up the lid and there's a little ballerina going around in circles. There are definitely variations on that. But that sound is so powerful because it's a sound that has been heard since birth, and maybe even before birth if you have been looking at the research on the brain and music and how we are actually feeling music even in our mother's womb. You know what? I am going to get that globe real quick, and I'm going to play it for you, and I'm going to close with it. I'll be right back. This is one of those snow globe type of things, right? You can shake it up. It was engraved. Who recognizes this song? I bet you know the words to that one. And that's an example of what hypnosis is. Things get stuck in your brain, things trigger memories, and sometimes that's good and sometimes that's bad. But in hypnosis, you can even rework bad memories that are triggers and turn them into something that's positive. So that's all for today. Like I said, later on I will post a video that is specifically a hypnosis video, and you'll see what my style is. I like to mix it up a little bit.